Excellent. Pavel.
Let's see, yeah, you can hear me. So, my name is Pavel Chinaev and I'm continuous delivery architect at Live9 IT Services. With my daily work, I help companies to assess, create, and improve the way they deliver their applications to production. And today, I'm going to talk about nostaging. The idea that you should not use stage environments before putting things to production. And I want you to understand me correctly. By no means I'm saying that this is the right thing to do, or I'm saying that you should believe everything I say. Actually, it's quite the opposite. Just listen to me with the open mind, but with the skepticism, and try to find flaws in everything I say, and share feedback with me, either by Twitter or just talking to me afterwards. So the talk is inspired by two people. First one is Dave Nolan, who actually gave talk about nostaging in Pipeline Conference in London earlier this year, and I really liked it. And a lot of ideas are here in this talk. And the second one is Edith Harbour. She created a series of articles about more or less the same topic. But also, I gave a talk last December about similar idea that you don't need DTAP. And yeah, so why would you really need stage environment? I believe, well, it all started with when software development started. It all started with the putting code directly to production. And well, it's simple. You code something, you deploy to production, what can possibly go wrong? And as a matter of fact, a lot of things can go wrong. And when things go wrong, well, they break stuff and they prohibit everyone else to do the work. So there is bright idea appears. Let's just put another environment before production, where we can try things and see if they break or not. Hence, staging environment. And the idea was so great and people liked it, so they decided, oh, let's put more of those environments and let's map them into roles. And this is where this idea of DTAP appeared as we know it. It starts with development environment, then it moves to testing, finally to acceptance or stage environment, and to production. And if you think of this, what it really is increasing the quality at the expense of time. And sometimes it's not even increasing the quality. But anyway, it takes a lot of time to go through this street of DTAP. And it goes even more complex because if you need to produce a fix, it needs to go through the same street. And this takes a lot of time. Or deploy directly to production. And then we're back to square one. Why would we do it? What other things that people have found is that it's hard to test and to find data-specific bugs on pre-production environments. So yeah, this to me consists of this idea of the waterfall. Idea that you need to test things before production. The idea you need to gate changes to production, aggregate changes to production, or approve changes to production. And regardless of agile transformation, a lot of companies are still doing this. And I believe this belongs to waterfall mode, world. Same with deployments. When should deployments happen? Okay, in the night, on Saturday. When else? And then it takes weeks, if not days, to prepare, and then hours to execute with all the pages of procedure. But then if something goes wrong, you need to roll back, and it also takes hours. And then, well, where will you get some sleep? Well, some other time, because obviously, well, who needs sleep on the weekend? Definitely not system administrators who are doing those deployments. So the main problems, as I see with it, is that these environments, DTAP treat as long-living environments. They create this configuration drift, people change them, and without documenting, it creates all sorts of problems. And immutable infrastructure seems to solve this issue, right? How it works. You create an environment just when you need it, just for the purpose when you need it, you use it, and you dispose it. Well, you heard a lot about this today and yesterday. So again, it's not yet another kettle versus pet comparison. What I mean here is that if you use an immutable infrastructure, why would you call environment development or test environment or acceptance environment? Well, you would probably still call it production. But all of the rest of environments are not needed anymore because they exist not for long, but for minutes, hours, maybe days. And if we do this, are we done yet? And I believe no, because this is not enough. Why? You can't really get a clone of production. Really, you can't. Because a couple of things, you can't get third-party integrations. If you are testing those integrations on staging, how do you do it? Especially if you pay for those integrations, or it has something to do with money. How do you test those? emails or some other configurations or notifications to users, how do you differentiate between testing and production? How do you identify those? If you differentiate them with some prefixes or configuration, then you're getting further away from production that is needed. And of course, instance type and numbers. But in a nutshell, what is different? You have no real users and you have fake data. So testing on staging provides you with a fake confidence, because even if you don't find bugs on staging, it doesn't mean that you won't find them in production. But because really what is happening is that you're testing it in production anyway, right? All my career I was hearing that you should not test in production, like at all. This is wrong thing to do. Things will go wrong. But from what I hear today and yesterday, this is what I believe everyone is heading. What is needed for this? New style deployments. Again, you heard a lot of those. Short-lived immutable infrastructure with a zero downtime deployments, good monitoring, the possibility to quickly roll back, and continuous delivery. If you have all of those, why would you need staging? If you can have immutable infrastructure that you deploy quickly with every feature, and with the zero downtime, and you can quickly identify problems and roll back, and you have continuous delivery of features, why do you need staging environment? Some approaches to achieve this: feature flags, API versioning, circuit breakers, dark launches, incremental changes for schemas, branch abstraction, preferences to backwards compatible changes. I don't have time to get into those, but well, you can find a lot of information on the internet. But then, yeah, again, why would you need to test on staging? This is using synthetic scenarios. And statistics shows that a third of all features are not needed by users. And those that are needed are used differently than people thought they would be. So what you really need is a way of quickly putting your features from developer's laptop to production. So you can validate those, if this is what users really need or not. And if this is what users need, put more effort into this, develop those features. If it's not needed, well, don't. Performance testing on stage, and this is what I hear a lot, well, we needed to use performance testing. I don't think, first of all, that performance testing is needed for every feature. But second, I believe quite the opposite is true. Features just don't get traffic in a lot of cases because they're not needed by users. So if you want to do performance testing, why not use immutable infrastructure? Create an environment just for this specific case, run performance testing, and then destroy it. Or maybe even better, create a rolling release and put subsets of your users to test this for you. Well, maybe you can add some synthetic workloads. Furthermore, I believe that staging of microservices is very painful because there is no system in microservices. It consists of a number of separate systems that work together, and they're constantly changing, constantly evolving. So when to stage microservices? On every change? On every hour? Nightly? When would we do it, and how would we test it? I don't think we need to do it. Why even bother doing this? If deployments are independent, if we can identify failures quickly and recover from them, why do we need to stage those microservices? So yeah, getting towards the end, now staging in 2 easy steps. First of all, remove the static DTAP environment. Automate everything. Just run those environments and create those environments wherever you're needed and destroy those. Establish continuous delivery. Invest heavily in automated testing and build the quality into your system. And once you stop using staging environment, invest in monitoring, in disaster recovery, and put these really tiny slices of your application into production changes. Because really, staging doesn't give you confidence. If it does, this is a fake confidence. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Pavel. All right. I'll see you guys back here at 2. We have Shannon Williams coming up in this room.